Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Mahatma Peace Symposium is a tribute to the global peace hero Mahatma Gandhi. It commemorates Gandhi's birth anniversary and aims to increase public awareness and understanding of his vision of sustainability, real development, and ahimsa, which translates to non-violence. A non-violent approach to foster lasting peace within and across diverse and vulnerable communities, thereby accelerating inclusive, networked multilateralism with vision, ambition, and impact, integral to a sustainable world.
It holds lots of wonderful things, and also wonderful people. And those who come to this land new, for those who are only coming for a couple of 100 years ago, those who are just very recent, thank you for coming. Because on this land of the Gadigal, of the Euro Nation, there are 13 nations that make up the Euro Nation.
So welcome again to Mahatma Peace Symposium 2023, My Land, My Story, Meri Kahaani, Meri Zabaani, an Australia-India Cultural Synergies initiative, a tribute to the global peace hero, Mahatma Gandhi. With my experience of working with global peace NGOs and diaspora communities, I realized that Mahatma Gandhi is adored and worshipped as a global peace hero of history. And what we see as the UN-SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, are social development aspects he talked about over a century ago. And yet there was no platform that was educating today's global citizens on how to decode, simplify, implement his principles and teachings of conflict resolution and to address pressing issues the world is facing. Therefore, I created a call to action forum, which is called Mahatma Peace Symposium, which focuses on social issues the world is faced with, its articulation in the UN-SDGs, and how we can address them applying the Gandhian values and principles. Mahatma Peace Symposium highlights our ethos that structured peace education is the key to making a paradigm shift in the way the world thinks about peace. So I would like to welcome and thank each and every one of you here today, especially Uncle John and Auntie Liz, Honourable Warren Kirby MP, State Member for Riverstone, Chair, State Parliamentary Friends of India, the Honourable Sanjay K. Mulaka, Consul and HSC, Consul General of India, Sydney, and Mrs. Swati Mulaka, we were expecting her as well, but the Honourable Patricia Garcia, AO. MC for today, wonderful Preeti Tadani, Senior Advocate, SBSA, Executive Board, Women's Shed, Hornsby, Kuringai, Secretary, IABBW, Hindi School. Dr. Scott Watkins, Pollinate Group. Dr. Devlina Ghosh, Adjunct Professor, University of Technology, Sydney. Councillor Barbara Ward, Advisory Board, UNAA, New South Wales. Sagar Nagraj, Australian Indian Orchestra. Our proud sponsors, Neha Mashruwala from Neha's Indo-Chic Trends. Iram Imran, Bilal Mubashir from Broad Safe Group. SRF Creators, that's me. Our partners, Ash Designs, Australian Indian Orchestra, Sari Selections, Nuri Lucknow, Shantana from Light Antenna. Media partners, Desi Australia, Aarti Banga, Dimple, Hartajdees, Harmohan Walia, Pallavi Jain from Australia Today, the Indian Subcontinent Times, Ashok Kumar, Prashantika, Harpreet Singh from Punjab Times, Navneet Anand, Mazhar Rahman from Voice Article, Fiji Times Australia, Kate Sunte, Sydney Protidin, Sunny Singh from The Unmute, She Magazine, Friends World TV, SBS Hindi for your continued support and presence for Mahatma Peace Symposium. And then we have our community outreach partners, Nadeem Ahmed, Indians in Sydney, Little India Harris Park Business Association Inc., Mr. Sanjay Deshwal, Pankaj Tangri, Bimal Joshi, I think I saw Bimal somewhere, and Honorable Jackie Monroe MLC. You're please come here. Councillor Dan Coleman for joining us. We also have Jamie Robinson, Bollywood Cars, Mubina Jamdar from Diabetes Hub Multicultural Australia, Anubedi Dax Karai from C Smart Consulting and Empowerful, Earthy Souls Australia, Shifali Paul from Alkalizer, Tia Gorain, Empowered BWB, Anusha Haran, One Stop Beauty, our supporters Vishal from Evergreen Memories, the Money Shot Weddings, Preston Warren, Painted Studios, Kamal Kothari from Brand Canvas, Honorable Vijay Kumar, former Consul General of India. Then we have a lot of councillors. Thank you for your presence. Prachin Nagrat from Centre for Australia-India Relations, Joe Curry AM, Patricia Jenkins, UNAA New South Wales. Hi. And each and every guest who's joined us today to support the Saroni Roy Foundation initiative, the MAHATMA Peace Symposium.
Saroni has worked remotely along with the award winner, First Nations artist Preston Warren, to curate an authentic and exquisite piece of art, ensconced in the Gandhian values of ahimsa and Sarvodaya Swaraj, peace, love, and reconciliation. The intricate patterns portray the Australian Indigenous people's journey and camps which span across the vast expanse of the country, representing the diverse tribes that comprise a unified nation. The artwork incorporates the Indigenous Australian and Torres Strait Islander flag colours, as well as the Indian flag colours embodying the ancient Australian connection to India. The links between Australian Aboriginal and Indian tribes aligning with the theme of G20 Presidency that India has recently hosted, One Earth, One Family, One Future. Drawn from the Sanskrit text of the Maha Upanishad, which celebrates the strengthening of the Australia-India bilateral relations. In collaboration with Sari Selections, the artwork is also rendered on a Gaji silk sari, which has been handcrafted by the artisans in India, the Australian-Indian Cultural Synergies, a heritage piece which currently you will see has been draped by Saroni today. Their efforts to create a synergy between India and Australia in a sari is remarkable. We all know that Australia was joined to India in the last ice age. It was called Gondwana land. How many here know that? Yeah? Quite a few people. Wonderful. So for a person like me to be wearing a fabric which has been woven by the artisans in India, my Janmabhoomi, portraying the artwork of Aboriginals in Australia, my Karma Bhoomi.
Well, it's really amazing. It's old and new at the same time. It's very amazing. That selection is also land, but also sea and rivers. And whereas this one is the combined lot. Because it has a representation under that, and it has a representation under that. Because the way the artwork has been portrayed. So, you picked a very good man.
But we're here at the gathering of the Mahatma Peace Symposium to commemorate the 154th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, known as Gandhi Jayanti. Such an important occasion, and one that is just 3 national holidays in India: Independence Day, Republic Day and the day of Gandhi Jayanti. I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Saroni and this foundation for organising such a wonderful event, and it brings together individuals from so many diverse backgrounds to honour the core principles and diversity, core principles of diversity, sustainability and social justice that were so close to Gandhiji's heart. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the Indian nation, was not just a historical figure, but a beacon of hope and a source of inspiration for millions around the world. His legacy is a testament to the enduring relevance of his values and principles, which continue to guide us in our pursuit of peace, justice and equality. And the Constructive Program, or grassroots change. Gandhi advocated for the idea of Constructive Program, which emphasised building a just and equitable society through constructive actions. He believed that individuals and communities could make a difference through their own efforts, such as education, economic self-sufficiency and social reform. This approach is a timeless reminder to the importance of grassroots initiatives in addressing social issues. As he is most famously known for saying, "You must be the change you want to see in the world." In a world grappling with conflicts, inequalities and environmental challenges, the values and principles of Mahatma Gandhi serve as a guiding light. His teachings are universally critical and crucial, offering us a blueprint for a more compassionate, just and sustainable world. Gandhiji's legacy teaches us that non-violence is not a sign of weakness, but a manifestation of inner strength. It reminds us that diversity should be celebrated, that individuals should have the power to shape their destinies, and that social progress is achievable through collective action.
Thank you so much for putting on this incredible event. I think now more than ever we need to celebrate peace, because it's in times of challenge and struggle that it requires us to dig deeper to find that place of compassion and non-violence that's been spoken about. It is in those times where we face a challenge or a barrier. I mean, globally at the moment we face international affairs that are becoming more and more tense, and it is in these times that we need to resort to peace as our default, even as challenging as it might seem. And I think that peace and that call to connection and compassion must start with one another. It starts with the way that we treat each other individually, in our families, our friendships, our workplaces and in our communities. And that will naturally flow into a greater representation of cohesion and collaboration. And that's why I just absolutely love the call to peace that Saroni has been able to muster up amongst her community, amongst all of you, amongst us. So we have a lot to learn from each other as nations, as much as cultures, and we know that those relationships go well beyond trade and economics. It is the migration that we share and the culture that we share, those relationships that really make the relationships between Indians and Australians so special. So thank you for giving another feather to the cap of this amazing relationship that we share between countries and between cultures.
Good evening and namaskar, and I congratulate Saroni Roy for organizing such a beautiful symposium, and I think this is third edition. Yeah, it's great to see, and it's already become a signature event for Gandhian things in Sydney. As today we are celebrating 154th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, we call him Bapu. So the life of Gandhi always offers something to each and everybody.
I think an important memory for me was that back in 2010, if many of you might remember, in University of New South Wales inaugurated the first statue of Mahatma Gandhi on the grounds of University of New South Wales. And I was there, and also we had a lovely visit from the granddaughter of Gandhi, who had come from South Africa. And I remember she telling us about a couple of personal stories that she had about her grandfather. And one of them was that she mentioned about close to 100 years ago, Mahatma Gandhi met with the world leaders, and he said to them, this land has not been inherited by our forefathers, but rather this land has been borrowed from our children and future generations. So we need to take care and protect this land, the air, the soil, the water, not just the people, not only just the people. So he was saying that this borrowed land is like taking a loan. And when you take out a loan, you have to pay back with interest. This is how he was trying to tell the world leaders how to take care of our land. And the granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi also recounted the personal story of a mother and a son coming to see Mahatma Gandhi, and the mother saying to Mahatma Gandhi, my son keeps eating sweets. Is it possible for you to talk to him, to tell him or show to him to say that he should stop eating sweets, to make him stop eating sweets? Mahatma Gandhi sort of said, I will come back and I will talk to your son. So the mother went home with the son, and 1 week went by, second week went by, third week went by. And then Mahatma Gandhi came back and called the mother and son back, and the mother was sort of querying, why did it take so long for him to come and speak to my son about stopping to eat sweets? So she kept thinking about that, because all that time had passed. And so when Mahatma Gandhi came to see the mother and the son again, the mother said, why did it take you so long just to come and talk to my son? And Mahatma Gandhi said, my dear, I was also eating sweets, so I had to wait until I could stop eating sweets before I can talk to your son. So with that, I'd like to thank you very much, Clyde. Thank you.
पेड़ पर आए जाने रे पर दुखे उपकार करे तो पर दुखे उपकार करे तो मन अभिमान ना आने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहे जे पेड़ पर आए जाने रे.
With this, we are going to start with our panel discussion, the Global Peace Builders Forum 2023. So the first thing I would like to kind of share some stories and journeys, because the overarching theme this year is My Land, My Story, Meri Kahaani, Meri Zabaani, Australia-India Cultural Synergies. So we want to kind of deep dive into the ancient or any kind of historical connections of Australia, India, and also sort of which kind of aligns with the India's G20 presidency, which is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future, so, which is drawn from the ancient Sanskrit text of Maha Upanishad celebrating and strengthening Australia-India bilateral relations. So, our esteemed panelists today, can you give us examples of any historical background or Australian connection to India, any stories, experiences, journeys, links? So I think we'll start with Professor Devleena Ghosh.
Finally, I mean, this is also my little personal story, research project, if you like. In 1905, the first girls' school in the Delhi region was set up by some theosophists. The president of that school was a theosophist called Leonora Gamaina, an Australian woman from South Australia, who was principal of that school till, I think, the 1930s, who took the vow of Satyagraha with Gandhi on the same stage in Delhi in 2021, and who remained until her sight gave out as principal. She, in fact, lost, or rather the school lost funding because her students refused to raise the UK flag, the British flag, and raised the tricolour instead. And Leonora actually supported these students. I was fortunate enough to interview one of them in Delhi before she died.
So Satyagraha for Gandhi was effective if it aided his constructive effort. And Gandhi's real Satyagraha, thus, was constructive work. And the Constructive Program gave content to the Satyagraha framework, we can say that. And Gandhi therefore felt that the Constructive Program may more otherwise and more fittingly be called construction of Purna Swaraj, or complete independence, by truthful and non-violent means. So it meant that getting involved in finding constructive solutions to problems, rather than just leaving responsibilities to the government or blaming other people or kind of relying on others to find solutions.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here, and thanks everyone for coming along. So Pollinate Group, as was introduced, our mission is to empower women sustainably. And we were founded by a group of young Australians about 10 years ago and have evolved now into a social enterprise that operates in about 20 cities across India and a few in Nepal. And what we do basically is we train women who live in disadvantaged and often slum communities to sell things like solar-powered lights. And what we do basically is we train women who live in disadvantaged and often slum communities to sell things like solar-powered lights. And these lights replace the kerosene lamps that they're typically using inside their homes and enabling them to live a better life. It helps every aspect of them. It helps kids go to read after school. It helps women take on jobs that they can do at night. It makes all of their lives better. And the model that we have by training women who live in these slums means that the people who sell the lights benefit as well as the people who buy them. And so this, I think, ties in very nicely with this ideas about constructing solutions in the local community.
And this is my final point, is that Indigenous cultures are one of the ones that are most open to change. Otherwise, they would not survive. So this notion that Indigenous cultures are old-fashioned, backward, tradition, etc., is just a lot of rubbish. Indigenous cultures have had to change massively, and they have survived. And we have to remember that that shows both their resilience, their creativity, and their innovation.
Look, Gandhi's approach to sustainability can be understood in a holistic way, where the ecological balance is not disturbed and welfare for all is the basis of his thinking. What I find extraordinary is here we are today talking about the SDGs and all the things that we need to do, yet Gandhi was at the forefront of it.
Thank you so much to each and every one of you here today. Sponsors, partners, community outreach partners, supporters, photographers. Oh my God, I mean, Uncle John, Auntie Liz, each of the dignitaries, panelists, everyone, you've just made this such a success and so meaningful. You've added so much of meaning to it. For what I started alone, just by myself, your support means so much to me. Thank you.